So let's ask you about Mike Tomlin, because I'm a little surprised by Rondé Barber, who absolutely would know, his statement on his own show saying that Mike Tomlin, he doesn't believe is ever going to coach again. Now, we haven't heard a single word except the report from The Athletic about how emotional it was for his players to receive the news from Tomlin. What's the general sense? Because we're certainly not hearing him about being available in this current coaching cycle. Tom, what's the general sense about what Mike Tomlin's next steps are going to be?
I would tell you that what Art Rooney said publicly accurately reflects what Mike Tomlin has told people privately, which is this was more a family decision than it was a football decision. He has not entered into any agreement to go do TV. He is not secretly, going to do the old unretire in 2 weeks and try to come back with a different team. He truly intends to take time away. There have been teams that have checked in on Mike Tomlin, and they have been told the same thing, which is he does not intend to coach in 2026. We all know plans can change, Rich. If plans change with one of the most respected coaches in recent NFL history, there certainly would be teams that would have an interest in bringing in Mike Tomlin. The Steelers still have him under contract. It would have to be a trade at this time if they were to move down the road. Art Rooney has not spoken specifically on what that would look like, but there's precedent for it in terms of the Sean Payton trade a couple of years ago. That, though, occurred a year later after Mickey Loomis had hired Dennis Allen and gone through an entire year. There was a coach in place, and at that point, the way that Loomis approached it was, here's what historically these trades have been. It's a first-round pick and more. We are going to tell other teams, if you want Sean Payton, you got to agree that that is going to be the compensation. If you're on board with that, then you can talk to him about potentially going there. Sean made several different visits. He talked to Carolina. I believe he talked to Arizona. Ultimately, talked to Denver, and is now the head coach of the team that's the number one seed in the AFC. It is much more complicated to trade a coach who has just walked away. In other words, because of the contractual piece of this, because the Steelers have not even hired a coach, it would raise a lot of questions. And Art Rooney, as he said, would have to cross that bridge when you come to it. It doesn't sound like we're there right now with Mike Tomlin. I can't tell you what the future holds. I did not personally see a guy on the sideline, the way that he interacted with players, beating his chest after that win right there over the Ravens, who looked like he is just done and he's out of gas. He felt it was time for a change for himself, for the Steelers organization. How will he feel in 2027? We don't know, but he's a very competitive guy. He's going to need an outlet for that. And certainly one of the driving storylines over the next year will be, will Mike Tomlin come back to the NFL? And if so, who potentially, who's coaching in 2026, could end up having their job taken by a guy who's coached 19 seasons and never had a losing one?
Hey, you made it all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Check us out every single day streaming live on Disney Plus and the ESPN app 12 to 3 Eastern.